the waking comes not as a jolt, but as a gentle suggestion. It is the light that rouses you first. A soft, pale gold filtering through the single, clean window pane of your small hut. It is a slow, quiet light, not the harsh, demanding sun of midday, but the tentative, hopeful light of dawn. It paints a soft, warm stripe across the worn wooden floorboards and illuminates the million tiny dust motes that dance in the still air, each one a tiny, glittering world of its own. The second thing you notice is the sound. It is a symphony of quiet comforts. From the hearth, where a single stubborn log has been burning all night, comes the soft, steady crackle hiss of a fire that has kept the chill at bay. It is a living sound, a warm, breathing presence in the small room. Outside your window, the first few birds begin their morning chorus. It is not the boisterous, full-throated song of later in the day, but a sleepy, tentative chirping, a series of soft, questioning notes as the world slowly awakens from its slumber. You lie still for a moment, wrapped in the familiar comfort of your heavy, woolen blankets. You don't need a clock. You can tell the time by the quality of the light, by the specific notes in the bird's hesitant song. This is the quiet hour, the in-between time, the moment that belongs only to you and the castle grounds before the first student has even thought of yawning. With a soft groan of contentment, you swing your legs out of bed, your bare feet finding the cool, smooth stone of the floor. The air in the hut is crisp, but not cold. The lingering warmth from the fireplace a gentle, welcoming embrace. Your home is a single, circular room, its stone walls lined with shelves holding not books of complex theory, but practical, well-worn tools and objects. There is a neat stack of terracotta pots in one corner, a collection of polished river stones on a windowsill, and a set of beautifully carved wooden gardening tools hanging from pegs on the wall. It is a simple space, a space of purpose and quiet contemplation. You pull on a thick woolen jumper and sturdy trousers, your movements slow and practiced. You stoke the fire, adding a fresh log that catches quickly, its flames a cheerful, dancing orange that pushes back the last of the night's shadows. You fill a kettle with water from the hand pump in the corner and place it on a hook over the flames. The low, humming sound as it begins to heat is another note in the morning's quiet symphony. While the water heats, You stand at your open door, a steaming mug of strong, sweet tea cupped in your hands. You look out at your world. Your small stone hut is nestled just at the edge of the forbidden forest, a good distance from the main castle, giving you a sense of peaceful isolation. Before you, the vast, sloping lawns of Hogwarts are covered in a thick, shimmering blanket of morning dew. Every blade of grass, every wildflower is adorned with tiny, perfect, glittering diamonds. The air is so still, you can see the faint mist rising from the surface of the black lake in the distance. A soft, white breath against the deep, dark water. The castle itself is a magnificent, sleeping giant against the pale, dawn-tinted sky. Its towers and turrets are dark silhouettes, its windows empty, its great, bustling heart not yet beating with the energy of the day. From here, you cannot hear the chatter of the students or the ringing of the bells. You can only hear the whisper of the wind in the leaves of the ancient trees behind you, and the gentle, lapping sound of the lake on its shore. This is your favorite time of day. It is a time of pure potential, a blank page on which the day has yet to be written. It is a time when the magic of the grounds feels at its most potent, its most raw, its most peaceful. You take a long, slow sip of your tea, the warmth spreading through your chest. You are not a student, not a professor, not a part of the great, complex machinery of magical education. You are a guardian, a caretaker, a quiet, steady presence in this place of wonder. And as the sun finally peases over the distant hills, painting the sky in shades of soft pink and brilliant gold, you know it is time to begin your day. The grounds are waiting. You finish your tea, leaving the warm mug on the simple wooden table by your door, and set out on your first task of the day, the morning patrol. It is not a duty born of security or suspicion, but one of care and observation. It is your daily conversation with the land you tend, a quiet, walking meditation through the waking world of the Hogwarts grounds. Your heavy, leather boots make a soft, crunching sound on the dew-soaked grass, each footstep leaving a dark, clear print in the shimmering lawn. The air is so crisp and clean, it feels like a physical thing, a cool, invigorating tonic that you draw deep into your lungs. It carries the scent of damp earth, wet stone, and the faint, sweet perfume of the wildflowers that dot the landscape. You begin your patrol at the perimeter fence, the simple, magically reinforced barrier that separates the school grounds from the Muggle world beyond. You walk its length slowly, your eyes scanning not for intruders, but for signs of the night's activity. You run a practiced hand along the wooden posts, feeling for the low, steady hum of the boundary charms, ensuring they are strong and unbroken. You find a spot where a young, adventurous badger has tried to dig its way under the fence, and you smile, using a simple mending charm to restore the earth and reinforce the turf, leaving no trace of the attempted escape. As you walk, you listen. Your ears are attuned. You hear the cheerful, chattering squeak of a family of gnomes as they emerge from their burrows to begin their daily, chaotic business of de-weeding the pumpkin patch. You hear the low, contented snuffle of a hedgehog returning to its nest after a long night of hunting for slugs. You even hear the faint, high-pitched, and slightly grumpy grumbling of a patch of fanged geraniums near the greenhouses, their leaves rustling with indignation at the morning chill. You are not just a groundskeeper. You are a naturalist of a very specific, very magical ecosystem. You know the territories of the local Kneasel population. You know which trees the bowtruckles favor. And you know exactly where to find the best, most succulent flobberworms after a light rain. Your path takes you along the edge of the Quidditch pitch. The towering stands are silent and empty now, but you can almost hear the ghostly echo of 1,000 cheering voices, the roar of the crowd, the swift whoosh of a bludger. You walk the perimeter of the pitch, your eyes scanning the pristine grass for any signs of damage, any scorch marks from a stray fire-breathing charm, any divots from a particularly aggressive quaffle play. The pitch is clear, peaceful in the morning light. From there, you wander down towards the Black Lake. The surface of the water is a perfect, still, dark mirror, reflecting the pale blue of the morning sky with flawless precision. You stand on the shore, the small, smooth pebbles crunching softly under your boots. You listen to the gentle, rhythmic lapping of the water against the shore, a sound as steady and comforting as a heartbeat. The air here smells of cool water, wet stone, and the faint, mysterious, briny scent of the deep. You scan the surface of the lake, looking for any signs of distress from its more unusual inhabitants. You see the telltale, V-shaped ripple of a grindylow moving just below the surface. You see a school of what look like silver-scaled fish leap from the water, their bodies catching the morning sun in a flash of brilliant light. And then you see it, far out in the center of the lake, a single, enormous, pale gray tentacle rises slowly, majestically, from the depths. It waves, a slow, lazy greeting, before sinking back beneath the surface without a splash. The giant squid is awake and well. You smile. It is a good sign. Your patrol is almost complete. You have walked the boundaries, listened to the whispers of the land, and communed with its inhabitants. The castle is beginning to stir now. You can see the first few lights appearing in the windows of the dormitories. The day is beginning for the students and the professors. But for you, the most important part of the day is already done. You have ensured that the world they will wake up to is safe, peaceful, and humming with its own quiet, powerful magic. You turn your back on the lake and begin the slow, steady walk back towards the great hall, your stomach rumbling in anticipation of a well-earned breakfast. The grounds are at peace, and so are you. The walk from the lake to the castle is a slow, steady ascent, a transition from the wild, natural magic of the grounds to the ancient, man-made magic of the school itself. As you approach, the castle seems to grow, its stone walls and high towers rising to meet the morning sky. You enter not through the grand main doors, but through a small, unassuming side entrance near the kitchens. A door that is known only to you, the house elves, and perhaps a few particularly adventurous ghosts. The corridors inside are cool and silent, your footsteps echoing softly on the flagstones. You emerge into the entrance hall and push open the doors to the great hall. And for a few precious moments, you have it all to yourself. Seeing the great hall in this state is a rare privilege. The vast, cavernous space, usually so full of noise, of chatter, of the clatter of 1,000 knives and forks, is now a place of profound, cathedral-like silence. The 4 long house tables are empty, their polished surfaces gleaming in the morning light that streams through the enormous, arched windows. The enchanted ceiling above is a perfect, flawless mirror of the clear, pale blue morning sky, with a few soft, fluffy white clouds drifting lazily across it. The air is still and smells wonderful. It's the scent of freshly baked bread, of roasting sausages, of strong black tea, and of the faint, waxy aroma of the thousands of candles that will soon be lit and sent floating towards the ceiling. It is the smell of a promise, the scent of a meal waiting to be enjoyed. The house elves have already worked their quiet, pre-dawn magic, and though you cannot see them, you can feel their presence in the warmth of the room and the perfection of the empty, waiting tables. You make your way to the head table, the one that sits on a raised dais at the front of the hall. This is where the professors eat, and in these quiet, early hours, it is where you take your meal. You don't sit in the headmaster's grand, throne-like chair. Of course, you take a simple, comfortable seat at the very end of the table, a spot that offers a perfect, panoramic view of the magnificent, empty hall. You are not alone for long. A few moments later, Madame Pince, the librarian, arrives. She is as quiet and precise as you are, and she gives you a small, curt nod of greeting before taking her own seat several chairs down. She immediately pulls out a small, leather-bound book and begins to read, already lost in her own world of words. A few minutes after that, Professor Flitwick bustles in, looking slightly sleepy as he levitates himself onto his tall, cushioned chair. He gives you a cheerful, "Good morning," his voice seeming unnaturally loud in the quiet hall. You eat in a comfortable, companionable silence. You help yourself to a plate of sausages, a scoop of scrambled eggs, and a thick slice of warm, buttered toast. You pour yourself a cup of strong tea, the steam rising in a fragrant cloud. The food tastes better here, in the quiet, before the chaos of the day begins. It's a simple, grounding ritual, a moment of peace and sustenance that prepares you for the work ahead. You watch as the hall slowly begins to come to life. The candles on the tables light themselves, one by one, their warm, flickering glow adding to the beauty of the room. The golden plates and goblets shimmer, anticipating the arrival of the students. The first few students begin to trickle in, the early risers, the diligent ones. Their voices are hushed at first, respectful of the morning quiet, but with each new arrival, the volume begins to grow. The murmur of conversation begins, the clatter of cutlery, the scraping of benches. The great, living heart of Hogwarts is beginning to beat. This is your cue. You are not a part of that world, the world of lessons and gossip and house points. Your world is outside, on the grounds. You finish your tea, give a quiet, respectful nod to Madame Pince and Professor Flitwick, and make your way out of the great hall, leaving the growing noise and energy behind you. You have been fed and fortified. And now, the greenhouses are waiting. You leave the stone confines of the castle and step back out into the bright, crisp morning. The sun is higher in the sky now, and the dew on the grass has begun to evaporate, leaving the lawns a vibrant emerald green. Your path takes you to the greenhouses, a series of magnificent glass and iron structures that gleam like jewels in the morning light. As you approach, the air grows warmer, more humid, and the scent of damp earth and growing things becomes stronger. You enter Greenhouse 3, your personal favorite. Stepping inside is like entering another world. The air is warm and heavy, thick with the scent of 1,000 different flowers and herbs, and with the rich, loamy smell of magical compost, the sound of dripping water, of rustling leaves, and of the low, constant hum of botanical magic fills the air. This is a place of life, of patience, of quiet, steady growth. Your first task of the morning is to water the enchanted plants, a job that requires a delicate touch and a deep understanding of their individual personalities. You don't use a simple watering can. You use a series of small, enchanted charms. Your wand movements as practiced and gentle as a painter's brushstroke. You start with the flutterby bushes. You whisper, "Aquamenti velos," and a fine, gentle mist settles over their leaves. In response, the bushes shiver with delight, and a cloud of their tiny, winged, blue flowers erupts into the air, fluttering around your head in a silent, grateful dance before settling back onto the branches. Next, you move to the row of screaming toadstools. These are more temperamental. They require a specific, tepid temperature of water. You cast a warming charm on a small bucket of water until it is just right. Then you carefully pour a small amount around their base. Their high-pitched, irritable shrieks soften into a low, contented gurgle, a sound that few others would find pleasant, but which you recognize as a sound of satisfaction. Your favorite plants to water are the gillyweeds, which are kept in a large, water-filled stone trough. They don't need more water, but they do enjoy a bit of movement. You use a simple agitation charm to create a slow, gentle current in the trough, and the slimy, gray-green weeds stretch and sway in the moving water, their movements as graceful and hypnotic as a dancer's. They seem to hum with a low, happy vibration, a feeling you can sense in the very water itself. Once the watering is done, you move on to pruning. This is your most meditative task, a slow, methodical process of trimming away the old to encourage the new. You take your finest pair of silver shears, silver, because it does not bruise the delicate stems of magical plants, and begin to work. You trim the yellowed, dying leaves from a row of potted dittany, their powerful, restorative scent filling the air with each snip. You carefully prune a fast-growing strand of devil's snare that is beginning to encroach on a patch of peaceful, mimbulous Mimbletonia, its tendrils recoiling from the touch of the silver with a soft hiss. You work with a quiet, focused intensity. You know each plant intimately. You know its needs, its moods, its preferences. You can read the language of their leaves, the slight curl of a thirsty leaf, the pale, anemic color of a nutrient-deprived one, the happy, vibrant green of a plant in its prime. This is not a job to you. It is a conversation. You are listening to what the plants need, and you are providing it. As you work, you can feel the collective contentment of the greenhouse settling around you. It's a palpable presence, a low, gentle hum of quiet, growing life. The light blossoms seem to glow a little brighter. The singing reeds seem to hum a little sweeter. This is the magic you understand best. It is not the flashy, explosive magic of dueling, or the complex, intellectual magic of transfiguration. It is the slow, patient, life-giving magic of the earth itself. You finish your work, your hands smudged with soil, your robes smelling of damp leaves and rich compost. You stand for a moment in the center of the greenhouse, surrounded by the quiet, breathing life you have so carefully tended. You feel a profound sense of peace, of rightness. This is your church. This is your sanctuary. And your congregation is thriving, leaving the warm, humid world of the greenhouses behind. You make your way towards a different, more lively part of the grounds. The mid-morning sun is warm on your back, and the air is filled with the distant sounds of the castle coming to life. The faint ringing of a bell for the first lesson, the cheerful shouts of students heading out for a break. But you are headed away from the human noise, towards a series of well-kept paddocks and enclosures nestled in a sheltered dell between the edge of the forest and the lake. This is your other domain, a place not of quiet, rooted life, but of wild, breathing, and often proud, magical life. The symphony of sounds that greets you is entirely different from the gentle hum of the greenhouses. It's a chorus of soft, welcoming noises, the low, gentle neigh of a hippogriff, the quiet hoot of an owl awake during the day, the happy snuffle of a mooncalf anticipating its breakfast. The air here smells of hay, of clean sawdust, and of the unique, musky scent of magical creatures. Your first stop is the Thestral paddock. To most, this enclosure would appear empty, a simple, fenced-off area of grassy land. But you see them, a small herd of skeletal, black-winged horses, their reptilian faces turning towards you as you approach. You have seen enough of loss in your long life to perceive them not as omens of misfortune, but as the gentle, misunderstood creatures they truly are. They are shy, quiet, and deeply intelligent. You approach the fence with a bucket of raw meat. You don't call out. You simply wait. A large male, the leader of the herd, detaches himself from the group and glides towards you. His movements utterly silent, his leathery wings folded neatly against his back. He stops before you, his white, pupil-less eyes regarding you with a calm, ancient wisdom. You offer him a piece of meat from your hand. He takes it with a surprising gentleness, his velvety muzzle soft against your palm. You stroke his smooth, cool neck, and he lets out a low, rumbling sound, a quiet purr of contentment. There is a deep, peaceful understanding between you, a shared knowledge of the world's harsher realities that requires no words. From the quiet dignity of the Thestrals, you move to the proud, demanding energy of the hippogriffs. Their paddock is larger, with several sturdy wooden perches and a large trough of fresh water. These are creatures that demand respect, and you are always happy to give it. You approach the fence, stop, and give a deep, formal bow from the waist, your eyes held low. A magnificent, bronze-feathered hippogriff on the nearest perch watches you for a long moment. Its fierce, golden eagle eyes seeming to pierce right through you. It considers your gesture, its sharp head tilted. Then, with a slow, regal grace, it dips its own eagle head in return, bending its scaly front legs in an answering bow. The sign of respect has been offered and accepted. Only now do you enter the enclosure. You approach the creature slowly, speaking to it in a low, calm voice. "Good morning, High Wing," you murmur. "Did you sleep well?" The hippogriff lets out a soft, bird-like squawk and nudges your shoulder with its beak, a gesture of familiar affection. You spend the next half hour grooming its magnificent feathers, using a soft brush to work out any tangles and to polish the bronze plumage until it gleams in the sunlight. You feel the creature's powerful muscles relax under your touch, its fierce pride giving way to a quiet, trusting contentment. It is a bond built on years of mutual respect, a delicate dance of protocol and genuine affection. Your final stop in the enclosures is the simplest and, in some ways, the sweetest. You visit the moon calves, shy, nocturnal creatures with smooth, pale gray skin, long, slender necks, and enormous, luminous blue eyes that seem to take up half their faces. They are timid creatures, and they only emerge from their burrows for you. You don't bring them meat or offer to groom them. You simply sit quietly on the grass and scatter a handful of their favorite food, magically enriched, pearl-like pellets on the ground. One by one, they emerge, their thin, four-legged bodies moving with a comical, shuffling gait. They blink their huge, saucer-like eyes at you, then begin to delicately pick up the food pellets with their mouths, emitting soft, happy snuffles as they eat. They are creatures of pure innocence, their gentle, trusting nature, a soothing balm after the proud intensity of the hippogriffs and the solemn dignity of the thestrals. You watch them, a quiet smile on your face, feeling the simple, profound joy of being trusted by something so shy and so magical. The gentle neighs, the soft hoots from the owlery, the happy snuffles of the mooncalves. It is indeed a soothing symphony, the music of a life lived in harmony with the magical world. After the gentle, living sounds of the creature enclosures, the profound silence of the Quidditch pitch is almost startling. You make your way there in the late morning, the sun now high and warm in the sky. The vast, oval expanse of perfect emerald green grass is empty and waiting, a silent stage for future glories and defeats. The great, towering spectator stands, which will soon be filled with the roaring, cheering chaos of hundreds of students. Are now just quiet, empty wooden structures, their colorful house banners hanging limp in the still air. Your work here is not one of grand construction, but a quiet, meticulous maintenance. It is a job of subtlety, of noticing the small imperfections and setting them right, of ensuring that this arena of high-flying, dangerous sport remains a safe and perfect place to play. It is a meditative, solitary task, and one you cherish. You begin by walking the pitch. You don't fly. You walk. This is the only way to truly see the turf, to feel the ground beneath your feet, to notice the small, telltale signs of wear and tear. Your heavy boots leave no mark on the magically resilient grass as you move in slow, concentric circles, your eyes scanning the ground. You find what you're looking for near the center of the pitch, a small, shallow divot, the unmistakable mark of a quaffle dropped from a great height during a particularly intense practice session. To an untrained eye, it would be invisible. To you, it is a glaring imperfection, a disruption in the perfect green tapestry of the field. You kneel down, your hand hovering over the bruised grass. You don't need a complex charm. You murmur a simple, one-word incantation, a mending spell you learned as a boy. Sarxio. You feel a gentle warmth spread from your palm into the earth. You watch with a quiet sense of satisfaction as the blades of grass begin to knit themselves back together, the compacted earth loosening and rising until the divot is completely gone, leaving no trace that it was ever there. The magic is simple, quiet, and deeply satisfying. You continue your walk, finding and mending a few other minor imperfections, a small scorch mark near the goalposts, likely from a frustrated keeper's celebratory and probably illegal spark-emitting charm, a patch of grass that has been slightly flattened by a player's rough landing. Each is mended with a soft word, a gentle touch of your wand, a small act of healing that restores the pitch to its pristine state. Next, you turn your attention to the 3 tall, golden hoops that stand at each end of the field. They are magnificent, gleaming structures, but the high-velocity impact of quaffles and the occasional clumsy collision with a broomstick can leave them scuffed and dull. You stand at the base of the first set of hoops, looking up at their towering height. With a flick of your wand, you cast a simple polishing charm. A small, shimmering orb of light appears and begins to move over the surface of the golden rings, scrubbing away any dirt or scuff marks. Its progress marked by a trail of brilliant, dazzling light. It works its way up and around each of the 3 hoops, leaving them gleaming in the sunlight as if they were brand new. Finally, you take a slow, methodical walk through the empty spectator stands. The wood creaks softly under your weight. The silence here is profound, filled only by the whisper of the wind and the ghosts of 1,000 past games. You run your hand along the railings, checking for splinters. You test the floorboards with your foot, listening for any loose ones that might trip an excited, jumping fan. You find a few minor issues: a slightly wobbly banister, a board that groans a little too loudly, and you fix them with quiet, efficient mending charms. You even find a forgotten, half-eaten box of Birdie Bot's every flavor beans under one of the benches, left over from the last house match of the previous year. You smile, picking it up and vanishing it with a flick of your wand. Some things, it seems, never change. You finish your work and stand in the center of the pitch one last time, looking around at the perfectly manicured grass, the gleaming golden hoops, the sturdy, safe stands. The place is at peace, at rest, holding its breath in anticipation of the coming season. You feel a deep, quiet sense of pride. You are the keeper of this place, the guardian of its integrity. You are the one who ensures that the stage is always perfect for the drama that is about to unfold. The roar of the crowd is for the players, but the quiet hum of the well-tended pitch is for you alone. The Quidditch pitch, now restored to its pristine glory, fades behind you as you make your way toward the Black Lake. The sun is at its zenith, casting a warm, golden light across the grounds, softening the crisp edge of the morning air. Your boots tread lightly on the grass, the faint, rhythmic crunch, a familiar companion to your thoughts. The castle hums with distant life, snatches of laughter from students on their lunch break, the faint clatter of dishes from the great hall. But here, on the path to the lake, the world is yours, quiet and expansive. You choose a spot beneath a sprawling willow tree, its drooping branches forming a natural curtain that sways gently in the breeze. The tree is ancient, its gnarled roots curling into the earth like an old friend settling in for a long rest. You set down your small, woven basket, a simple lunch packed from the great hall, a thick slice of bread, a wedge of creamy cheese, a crisp apple, and a flask of cold pumpkin juice. The grass is soft and cool beneath you as you sit, your back resting against the tree's rough bark, its solidity a grounding presence. The Black Lake stretches before you, its surface a deep, glassy mirror reflecting the endless blue of the midday sky. The water moves in slow, gentle waves, lapping against the pebbled shore with a soothing, rhythmic whisper. The sound is hypnotic, a soft heartbeat that syncs with your own, easing the quiet tension you hadn't realized you carried. The air smells of water and stone, with a faint, briny undertone that hints at the lake's mysterious depths. You breathe deeply, letting the scent fill you, grounding you further in this moment of stillness. You unwrap your lunch, the bread's crust crackling softly as you tear off a piece. The cheese is rich and tangy, the apple crisp and sweet, each bite a small celebration of the earth's bounty. You eat slowly, savoring the flavors, your eyes wandering over the lake. A small school of silver fish darts near the shore, their scales catching the sunlight in fleeting, dazzling flashes. Further out, a ripple spreads, slow and deliberate, and you smile as a single, pale tentacle of the giant squid breaks the surface. It lingers for a moment, almost playful, before sinking back into the depths, leaving only a soft swirl in its wake. The lake is alive, as much a part of the grounds as the grass or the trees, and you feel a quiet kinship with its hidden inhabitants. The willow's branches rustle above you, their leaves whispering secrets to the breeze. A few drift down, landing gently on the grass beside you, their edges curling like parchment. You pick one up, twirling it between your fingers, its texture soft and slightly damp from the lake's mist. The world feels slower here, time stretching like the lazy ripples on the water. You close your eyes, letting the sounds wash over you. The lap of the waves, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird soaring over the forest. It's a symphony of peace, a moment where the weight of your duties falls away, leaving only the simple joy of being. You think of the morning's work, the mended divots on the pitch, the contented snuffles of the mooncalves, the vibrant hum of the greenhouses. Each task, though small, is a thread in the tapestry of the grounds, a quiet act of care that keeps this magical place thriving. You feel no need for grand gestures or recognition. This, the lake, the tree, the bread in your hand, is enough. It's more than enough. It's a life built on moments like this, each one a small, perfect jewel in the crown of your day. A soft splash pulls you from your thoughts, and you open your eyes to see another ripple spreading across the lake, this one smaller, perhaps a fish or a curious mer-person testing the surface. You smile, finishing your apple and tucking the core into your basket to compost later. The sun has shifted slightly, its light now dappled through the willow's branches, casting a mosaic of shadows on the grass. You stretch, your muscles warm and loose, and rise, brushing the leaves from your robes. The lake seems to bid you farewell with a final, gentle wave, and you nod to it, a silent promise to return. The basket swings lightly in your hand as you turn back toward the grounds. The pull of duty stirs again, gentle but insistent, guiding you toward your next task. The forbidden forest waits at the edge of your vision. Its dark, ragged line a quiet challenge. You feel no rush, no urgency. The day is unfolding as it should, each moment building on the last, each task a continuation of the morning's quiet magic. You take a final glance at the lake, its surface now still, a perfect mirror of the sky, and set off, your boots crunching softly on the path, ready to meet the forest's edge. The walk to the forbidden forest is a gradual descent into a wilder, more untamed part of the grounds. The sun, now past its peak, casts long, slanting rays that filter through the trees, painting the grass in stripes of gold and shadow. Your boots tread a familiar path, one worn not by students or professors, but by your own steady steps, day after day, season after season. The air grows cooler as you near the forest, the scent of pine and damp earth rising to meet you, mingling with the faint, musky undertone of something ancient and alive. The forbidden forest looms ahead, a wall of dark, gnarled trunks and tangled branches that seems to breathe, its presence both forbidding and strangely welcoming. You don't venture deep within. Those paths belong to creatures and secrets you leave undisturbed. But you tend its edge, a liminal space where the manicured grounds meet the wild heart of the forest. Your task here is one of balance, of maintaining the delicate boundary between order and chaos, ensuring the forest's magic remains contained yet respected. You begin with the magical barriers, a series of subtle, invisible wards woven into the air along the tree line. You raise your wand, its familiar weight steady in your hand, and murmur a diagnostic charm. Revelio limus. A faint shimmer ripples before you, revealing the wards as a delicate web of silver threads, pulsing softly like a living thing. You walk the length of the boundary, your eyes scanning for any frayed or weakened strands. Near a gnarled oak, you find a small disruption, a flicker where a curious creature, perhaps a bowtruckle or a young gnarl, has tested the ward. You point your wand, whispering, Reparo Magica, and watch as the silver threads knit themselves back together. The web, whole and strong once more. Satisfied, you turn to the physical work, a task as grounding as the magical. The forest's edge is a riot of growth, its branches reaching out, its undergrowth spilling onto the lawns. You carry a pair of enchanted shears, their blades etched with runes that hum faintly when they cut. You work methodically, trimming back the overzealous brambles and low-hanging branches, each snip a precise act of care. The forest responds with a soft rustle, its leaves shivering as if acknowledging your touch. A few twigs fall to the ground, and you gather them into a small bundle, their wood warm and fragrant, perfect for kindling or crafting. As you work, the forest's sounds envelop you. A distant hoot of an owl, the soft scamper of something small in the undergrowth, the low, resonant hum of the trees themselves. It's a language you've learned over years, one of subtle cues and quiet rhythms. You pause, shears in hand, to listen. A faint, melodic trill catches your ear, the song of a flooper hidden deep within the forest. Its notes, too distant to charm, but beautiful in their wildness. You smile, letting the sound wash over you, a reminder of the forest's untamed heart. The work is slow, deliberate, a dance between you and the forest. You move along the tree line, your shears flashing in the dappled light, your wand ready for any magical adjustments. Near a cluster of yew trees, you find a patch of nettles that pulse faintly with a greenish glow, a sign of venomous tentacula seedlings. You kneel, casting a gentle containment charm to keep them from spreading, and carefully uproot them, their roots wriggling in protest. You place them in a charmed pouch for Professor Sprout, who'll use them in advanced herbology lessons. The forest seems to sigh, a soft breeze stirring the leaves, as if grateful for your care. You finish your task as the sun begins to dip, its light now a warm, amber glow that softens the forest's edges. The boundary is secure, the wards strong, the overgrowth tamed, but not subdued. You stand back, wiping a bead of sweat from your brow, and survey your work. The tree line is neat, but natural, a testament to your quiet stewardship. The forest feels at peace, its presence a steady, ancient companion that trusts your touch. You gather your tools, the bundle of twigs tucked under your arm, and take a final look at the forest. A single, glowing eye watches from the shadows, a thestral, perhaps, or something smaller, kinder. It blinks once, then vanishes, leaving only the rustle of leaves. You nod to the forest, a silent promise to return, and turn back toward the grounds, the path leading you toward Hagrid's hut, where a warm mug of tea and a friend's laughter wait. The day moves on, its rhythm unbroken, its magic as steady as your steps. The forbidden forest's edge, now neatly tended, recedes behind you as you make your way toward Hagrid's hut, its familiar silhouette a comforting beacon in the late afternoon light. The sun hangs low, casting long, golden shadows across the grounds, painting the grass in hues of amber and emerald. Your boots crunch softly on the well-worn path, the bundle of twigs under your arm, a light, fragrant weight. The air is warm, carrying the scent of pine from the forest and the faint, earthy sweetness of the pumpkin patch nearby. The day's tasks have settled into your bones, a pleasant ache of work well done, and the promise of tea with Hagrid lifts your spirits, a quiet joy in the rhythm of your routine. Hagrid's hut sits at the edge of the grounds, a sturdy, round structure of stone and wood, its chimney puffing a lazy curl of smoke into the sky. The windows glow with a warm, inviting light, and the faint clink of pottery reaches your ears as you approach. The door, oversized and weathered, stands slightly ajar, and you catch the rich, comforting aroma of brewing tea mingling with the smoky scent of a roaring fire. You knock once, a soft rap of knuckles on wood, and Hagrid's booming voice calls out, "Come on in, then!" The warmth in his tone is as welcoming as the hut itself. You step inside, ducking slightly under the low lintel, and the cozy chaos of Hagrid's home envelops you. The single room is a jumble of life, shelves crammed with jars of herbs and oddments, a massive table cluttered with mugs and plates, and a fire crackling merrily in the oversized hearth, its flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. Fang, Hagrid's enormous boarhound, lifts his head from a rug by the fire, his tail thumping lazily in greeting before he settles back with a contented huff. Hagrid stands at the hearth, his massive frame hunched over a kettle, his beard a wild tangle that catches the firelight. "Just in time," he says, turning with a grin, his eyes crinkling with warmth. He gestures to the table, where two mismatched mugs, each large enough to hold a small cauldron's worth of tea, wait beside a plate of rock cakes, their craggy surfaces a testament to Hagrid's enthusiastic, if perilous, baking. You set your bundle of twigs by the door and take a seat, the wooden chair creaking under your weight, its worn surface smooth from years of use. The hut feels like an extension of the grounds, a place where the wild and the domestic meet, much like your own work. Hagrid pours the tea, the dark, steaming liquid filling the mugs with a soft gurgle. The scent is strong, earthy, with a hint of honey he stirred in from a jar on the table. He hands you a mug, his hands dwarfing the pottery, and you wrap your fingers around it, the warmth seeping into your palms. The first sip is perfect, rich, sweet, and grounding, a small ritual that anchors you in this moment. Hagrid settles across from you, his chair groaning in protest, and takes a swig of his own tea, letting out a satisfied sigh that rumbles like distant thunder. The conversation begins slowly, as it always does, a gentle meandering through the day's small events. You tell him about the venomous tentacula seedlings you found at the forest's edge, and he chuckles, recounting a time he tried to pot one as a wee pet before it nearly took his finger off. He shares news of his own morning, checking on a clutch of blast-ended scroot eggs he's hidden somewhere in the forest, a glint of mischief in his eye. The stories flow easily, punctuated by soft laughter and the crackle of the fire, each tale a thread in the tapestry of your shared stewardship of the grounds. The hut is a haven, its warmth and clutter a stark contrast to the open expanses you've tended all day. The fire pops, sending a spark dancing upward, and Fang snores softly, his massive bulk rising and falling with each breath. You nibble cautiously at a rock cake, more to please Hagrid than out of hunger, and manage to chip only a small piece, its texture more stone than pastry. Hagrid doesn't notice, too busy recounting a recent encounter with a particularly stubborn bowtruckle, his hands gesturing wildly, nearly knocking over his mug. The light outside shifts, the golden glow giving way to the softer, cooler hues of late afternoon. You glance at the window, noting the lengthening shadows, the subtle cues of the day moving toward evening. Hagrid follows your gaze, his grin softening. "Got more work waitin', eh?" he says. Not a question, but a shared understanding. You nod, finishing your tea, the last sip warm and sweet. You rise, brushing crumbs from your robes, and thank him, the words simple but heartfelt. He waves you off with a gruff, "Anytime," but his eyes are warm, a silent promise of more tea, more stories, another day. You step outside, the air cooler now, the scent of earth and pine sharper in the fading light. The hut's glow lingers behind you as you pick up your bundle of twigs, their weight familiar in your hand. The grounds stretch before you, quiet and expectant, ready for your next task. The rhythm of the day carries you forward, the memory of tea and laughter, a small, warm ember in your chest, fueling you for the work ahead. The path from Hagrid's hut winds through the grounds, a gentle curve that takes you past the pumpkin patch, its oversized gourds glowing faintly in the late afternoon light. The sun is lower now, its rays slanting through the trees, casting long, dappled shadows that shift with the breeze. Your boots tread softly on the grass, the sound a quiet counterpoint to the rustle of leaves overhead. In your hand is a woven basket, its handle worn smooth from years of use, ready to hold the delicate harvest of potion ingredients you'll gather today. The task is one of precision and patience, a communion with the ground's subtle magic, and you approach it with a calm, focused reverence. You begin in a small meadow near the greenhouses, a patch of wild land left untamed for just this purpose. The air here is rich with the scent of herbs and earth, a heady mix that sharpens your senses. You kneel beside a cluster of dittany, its silvery leaves shimmering in the fading light, their edges curling slightly in the cool air. You run your fingers gently over the leaves, feeling their soft, velvety texture, and whisper a harvesting charm. Segio herba. The stems part cleanly at your touch, each leaf falling into your basket with a soft rustle, their potent, healing scent rising to meet you. You work slowly, taking only what you need, leaving the plant strong and thriving. Next, you move to a shaded corner where a patch of soporiferous beans grows, their dark, glossy pods hidden among broad, heart-shaped leaves. These are trickier, their vines sensitive to rough handling. You use a steadying charm to calm their faint, defensive twitching, then pluck the pods with a delicate twist, each one landing in your basket with a soft thud. The beans hum faintly, a low, magical pulse that you feel in your fingertips, a reminder of their power in potions like the draught of living death. You smile, tucking them carefully among the dittany, their weight a small, satisfying addition. The meadow yields more treasures, a sprig of wormwood, its bitter scent sharp and cleansing, a handful of moondew flowers, their petals glowing faintly as the light fades, a cluster of puffapod seeds, their pink, fluffy shells tickling your palm. Each ingredient is harvested with care, your wand and hands working in tandem, your movements as precise as a healer's. The grounds seem to approve, their quiet magic humming beneath your feet, the breeze stirring the grass in soft, encouraging waves. You move to the edge of the lake, where a patch of gillyweed thrives in the damp, pebbled soil. The slimy, gray-green strands sway gently, as if dancing to the lake's rhythm. You kneel, the pebbles cool against your knees, and use a severing charm to cut a few lengths, their texture slick and cool in your hand. The lake laps nearby, its waves a soft accompaniment to your work, and you catch a glimpse of a mer-person's fin breaking the surface, a fleeting, silvery flash in the twilight. You nod to the water, a silent acknowledgement, and tuck the gillyweed into your basket, its briny scent mingling with the others. The final stop is a small grove of yew trees, where you find a cluster of death-cap mushrooms nestled in the roots, their caps a dull, ominous gray. These are dangerous, their poison potent, but invaluable in certain advanced potions. You cast a protective charm over your hands, a faint shimmer shielding your skin, and use a silver knife to cut the mushrooms free, their earthy, musty scent rising as they fall into your basket. You handle them with respect, aware of their power, and seal them in a charmed pouch to keep them separate from the others. The basket is full now, a treasure trove of the ground's gifts, each ingredient a small miracle of magic and earth. You stand, stretching your back, and survey the meadow, the lake, the grove. The grounds are quiet, their colors softening in the twilight, the air cool and still. The task has been a meditation, a dialogue with the land, and you feel a deep, quiet satisfaction, a sense of harmony with the world you tend. You turn back toward the castle, the basket swinging lightly in your hand, the path leading you toward the next task. The lanterns wait to be lit, their soft glow a promise of evening's calm. The day moves on, its rhythm unbroken, its magic a steady pulse in your veins, carrying you forward with the quiet grace of a life well lived. The meadow and its treasures fade behind you as you make your way toward the castle. The basket of potion ingredients tucked securely under your arm. The sun has dipped below the horizon, leaving the grounds bathed in the soft, dusky glow of twilight. The air is cooler now, carrying the crisp scent of evening dew and the faint, woody breath of the forbidden forest. Your boots tread a familiar path, their soft crunch a steady rhythm in the quiet, and the grounds seem to hush in anticipation of nightfall. The task ahead, lighting the lanterns, is one of gentle magic, a ritual that ushers the castle into the evening with a warm, welcoming glow. The pathways and courtyards of Hogwarts stretch before you, their outlines softened in the fading light. The lanterns, wrought iron and charmed to withstand centuries, stand at intervals along the paths, their glass panes dark but expectant. Each one is a small sentinel, a beacon for students and staff navigating the grounds after dusk. You begin at the main courtyard, where a cluster of lanterns encircles a weathered stone fountain. Its gentle trickle a soft counterpoint to the evening's stillness. You raise your wand, its familiar weight steady in your hand, and murmur, Lumos Flamma. A tiny golden spark leaps from the tip, hovering for a moment like a firefly before drifting to the nearest lantern. The wick inside catches, flaring into a warm, steady flame that casts a soft circle of light on the cobblestones below. The glass panes shimmer, their faint enchantments refracting the flame into a kaleidoscope of amber and gold. And the lantern hums faintly, a quiet acknowledgement of your care. You move to the next, then the next, each spark igniting a new flame, each lantern adding its glow to the growing tapestry of light. The work is slow, deliberate, a procession through the grounds that feels almost ceremonial. You walk the winding paths, pausing at each lantern, your wand tracing gentle arcs in the air. The flames dance in their glass cages, their light pooling on the grass, the stone, the ancient walls of the castle. The grounds transform as you work, the twilight's shadows retreating, the paths now ribbons of warm, golden light that invite safe passage. The air feels alive with the subtle magic of the lanterns, a soft, humming energy that weaves through the evening like a lullaby. As you move toward the bridge leading to the castle's main entrance, you pass a group of students hurrying back from the greenhouses, their voices low and laughter soft in the quiet. They nod to you, their faces lit by the lantern's glow, and you return the gesture, a silent exchange of respect. You light the lanterns along the bridge, their flames reflecting in the dark waters below, creating a mirrored pathway of stars. The castle looms ahead, its towers silhouetted against the deepening sky, its windows beginning to flicker with the warm light of hearths and candles. You circle back through the smaller courtyards, where ivy clings to the stone walls and benches sit empty, waiting for contemplative souls. The lanterns here are older, their iron frames etched with faint runes that pulse softly as you light them. You pause at one, its glass streaked with age, and run a finger along the frame, feeling the cool metal and the faint tingle of its protective charms. A soft breeze stirs the ivy, its leaves rustling like a whisper, and you smile, the ground's quiet companionship, a steady presence at your side. The task takes you past the Quidditch pitch. Now, a dark, silent expanse under the twilight sky. You light the lanterns at its entrance, their glow casting long shadows across the grass. And for a moment, you imagine the roar of a crowd, the swift blur of broomsticks. But tonight, the pitch is at rest, its magic dormant, and the lantern's light is enough to honor its stillness. You move on, your steps unhurried, the rhythm of the lighting, a meditation that soothes your mind and soul. By the time you finish, the grounds are aglow, a constellation of lanterns stretching from the castle to the lake, from the forest's edge to the greenhouses. The twilight has deepened into early night, the sky a velvet indigo sprinkled with the first faint stars. You stand in the main courtyard, your wand lowered, and survey your work. The lantern's light is warm, steady, a promise of safety and comfort in the dark. The grounds feel at peace, their magic humming softly, and you feel a quiet pride, a sense of having woven light into the fabric of the evening. You tuck your wand into your robes and turn toward the castle, the next task calling softly in your mind. The owlery and astronomy tower wait, their quiet spaces a contrast to the open grounds. The day's rhythm carries you forward. The lanterns glow a warm farewell at your back, their light a testament to your care. The lantern-lit paths guide you toward the castle, their golden glow a gentle companion as you approach the stone walls. The night is young, the air cool and still, carrying the faint hoot of an owl from the distance. Your boots echo softly on the cobblestones as you enter through a side door, its hinges creaking faintly, a familiar greeting from the castle itself. The corridors are quiet, the students settled in their common rooms or dining in the great hall, their voices a distant murmur. Your task now takes you upward to the owlery and astronomy tower, places of solitude and sky, where the ground's magic meets the vastness of the night. You begin with the owlery, climbing the narrow, winding staircase that spirals up one of the castle's western towers. The stone steps are worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, their cool surface grounding under your boots. The air grows sharper as you ascend, carrying the musky, feathery scent of owls and the faint, dry smell of straw. The staircase opens into the owlery, a high, circular room with open arches instead of windows, letting in the cool night air and the soft glow of starlight. The owls greet you with a chorus of soft hoots and rustles, their silhouettes perched on wooden beams or nestled in stone alcoves. Their eyes gleam in the dim light, amber and gold, watching you with a calm, knowing curiosity. You step inside, your movements slow and quiet, respectful of their rest. The floor is scattered with straw and the occasional feather, and you sweep it gently with a whispered charm. Scourgify, the debris vanishing in a soft puff of air. The owls shift, their wings fluffing, a few letting out contented chirps at the tidied space. You check the water troughs, their surfaces reflecting the starlight, and find them full. The house elves' quiet efficiency at work. You add a handful of owl treats, small, charmed pellets that glow faintly, to a wooden tray, scattering them along the perches. A barn owl swoops down, its wings silent, and pecks delicately at a pellet, its eyes fixed on you in what feels like gratitude. You smile, reaching out a hand, and it nudges your fingers with its soft beak. A fleeting moment of trust that warms your heart. The owlery feels alive, a haven of quiet, feathered life, its magic subtle but profound. You stand for a moment at one of the arches, looking out over the grounds. The lantern's glow stretches below, a web of light connecting the castle to the lake, the forest, the pitch. The sky above is clear, the stars brightening as the night deepens, and you feel a connection to the vastness, a sense of being part of something larger, older, eternal. You descend the staircase, its cool stone a steady guide, and make your way to the astronomy tower, the highest point in the castle. The climb is longer, the staircase steeper, but your steps are sure. The rhythm of the day carrying you upward. The tower's door creaks open, revealing a wide, open platform ringed by a low stone parapet. The air is crisp, the scent of stone and sky sharp in your lungs, and the night stretches before you, a canvas of stars and shadow. You walk to the edge, your hands resting on the cool parapet, and gaze out. The grounds are a patchwork of light and dark. The lanterns glow, a warm contrast to the forest's shadowy edge. The black lake glitters under the starlight, its surface a mirror of the sky. You check the telescopes, their brass frames gleaming faintly, ensuring they're aligned for the next class. A soft adjustment charm, recto stella, nudges one into place, its lens catching a distant star's light in a brief, dazzling flash. The tower is silent, save for the soft whistle of the wind and the faint, distant hoot of an owl. You stand for a moment, letting the vastness of the night envelop you. The stars seem to watch, their light steady and ancient, a reminder of the ground's place in a larger world. You feel a quiet peace, a sense of completion in the day's work, and turn back, the staircase waiting to lead you down. The castle is quiet as you descend, its corridors a labyrinth of stone and shadow. The night patrol awaits, the final task before rest, and you move toward it with a calm, steady heart. The tower stirs a silent blessing at your back. The astronomy tower's starry expanse lingers in your mind as you descend the spiral staircase, its cool stone steps guiding you back into the castle's quiet embrace. The night has fully settled now, the air rich with the scent of ancient stone and the faint, lingering warmth of the day's sun. Your boots echo softly in the empty corridors, a gentle rhythm that blends with the distant hoot of an owl and the occasional creak of the castle settling into sleep. The lantern's glow from outside filters through the high, arched windows, casting golden pools on the flagstones, and the grounds call you back for your final task, the Nightfall Patrol, a quiet vigil to ensure the castle's peace under the moon's watchful eye. You step out into the main courtyard, the cool night air brushing against your face like a soft, welcoming hand. The lanterns you lit earlier burn steadily, their flames a constellation of warmth that stretches across the grounds, linking the castle to the lake, the forest, the greenhouses. The sky above is a deep indigo, studded with stars that gleam like scattered diamonds, and the moon, nearly full, bathes the lawns in a silvery light that makes the dew sparkle like a field of tiny, enchanted gems. The grounds are silent, save for the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze and the faint, rhythmic lap of the black lake in the distance. Your patrol begins along the main pathways, your wand tucked into your robes, its presence a quiet reassurance, though you rarely need it. You walk slowly, your eyes scanning the shadows, not for danger, but for signs of the ground's nighttime life. You pass the fountain in the courtyard, its water shimmering under the moonlight, and notice a small, glowing beetle, a firefly beetle, perhaps skittering along its edge. You pause, crouching to watch its tiny, pulsing light, and nudge it gently onto the grass with a whispered charm. Transitor, ensuring it finds its way to safety. The beetle's glow fades into the night, a small, fleeting gift from the grounds. The path leads you past the greenhouses, their glass panes reflecting the lantern's light like a mosaic of stars. You check the locks with a soft tap of your finger, feeling the faint hum of protective charms that keep the plants secure. The air here carries the lingering scent of dittany and saprophoris drains, a reminder of your earlier harvest. And you smile, the ground's quiet magic a steady companion. A soft rustle from within Greenhouse 3 catches your ear. A flutterbee bush, perhaps stirring in its sleep, and you press a hand to the glass, feeling its warmth. A silent promise to return in the morning. You move toward the Quidditch pitch, its vast, dark expanse a silent stage under the moon. The golden hoops gleam faintly, their polished surfaces catching the starlight, and the stands are empty, their banners still in the night air. You walk the perimeter, your boots silent on the grass, and check for any stray charms or forgotten items. Near the Gryffindor stands, you find a single tattered scarf, its red and gold stripes faded but vibrant in the moonlight. You pick it up, folding it carefully, and tuck it into your pocket to return to the lost and found. The pitch feels at rest, its energy dormant, and you nod to it, a silent acknowledgement of its readiness for the next game. The path curves toward the black lake, its surface a mirror of the night sky, the moon's reflection a perfect silvery orb. You pause at the shore, the pebbles crunching softly under your boots, and listen to the gentle waves, their rhythm a soothing lullaby. A faint ripple spreads, and you catch the brief, shadowy outline of a mer-person's tail, a fleeting glimpse of the lake's hidden world. The air smells of water and stone, with a hint of the gillyweed you harvested earlier, and you breathe deeply, the lake's calm seeping into your bones. Your final stop is the edge of the forbidden forest, its dark silhouette a quiet, watchful presence. You don't enter, but you stand at the boundary, checking the wards with a murmured, "Revelio limus." The silver web shimmers briefly, strong and unbroken, and you nod, satisfied. A single, glowing eye watches from the shadows. A thestral, perhaps, or a curious fox. And you meet its gaze, a silent exchange of respect. The forest's hum is soft, its magic at rest, and you turn away, the ground's peace confirmed. The patrol is complete, the castle and its grounds secure under the moon's light. You feel a quiet pride, a sense of stewardship fulfilled, and make your way back toward the castle. The lantern's glow guiding your steps. The night is yours, a canvas of silence and starlight, and you carry its calm within you, ready for the final act of the day. The castle's stone walls fade behind you as you follow the lantern-lit path back to your hut. Its small, round silhouette, a beacon at the edge of the forbidden forest. The night is deep now, the stars bright, and the moon a steady, silver presence overhead. Your boots crunch softly on the grass, the sound mingling with the distant hoot of an owl and the faint rustle of leaves in the breeze. The air is cool, carrying the scent of dew and pine, and the grounds feel at peace, their magic a quiet, steady pulse that mirrors your own heartbeat. The day's tasks, patrols, harvests, lantern lighting, settle into your bones. A pleasant weight of work well done, and the promise of rest draws you home. Your hut comes into view, its stone walls glowing faintly in the moonlight. The single window, a warm, amber square from the fire within. The chimney puffs a thin curl of smoke, a sign that the hearth has kept its vigil in your absence. You push open the door, its familiar creak a soft welcome, and step inside, the warmth enveloping you like an old friend's embrace. The air smells of wood smoke and herbs, with a faint, comforting trace of the tea you brewed at dawn. You set your basket of potion ingredients on the table, its contents a quiet testament to the day's labor, and hang your cloak on a peg by the door. The hut is small but perfect, a sanctuary of simplicity and purpose. The fire crackles in the hearth, its flames a cheerful dance of orange and gold, casting flickering shadows on the stone walls. Shelves hold your tools, terracotta pots, polished stones, carved wooden spades, each item a partner in your work. A single, worn armchair sits by the fire, its cushions sagging from years of use, and you sink into it, the wood creaking softly under your weight. The warmth seeps into your muscles, easing the day's aches, and you let out a slow, contented sigh, the tension of the world falling away. You stoke the fire, adding a log from the stack by the hearth, and watch as it catches, the flames flaring briefly before settling into a steady glow. The crackle is a living sound, a heartbeat that fills the quiet, and you lean back, your hands resting on the armrests, their wood smooth under your palms. The day replays in your mind, the dawn's soft light, the creature's gentle snuffles, the lantern's golden glow. Each moment is a thread in the tapestry of your life, a quiet act of care that binds you to the grounds, to their magic, to their timeless rhythm. You reach for a mug on the table, its surface still warm from the morning's tea, and pour a measure of water from a pitcher, heating it with a soft califatio. A handful of chamomile from a jar on the shelf steeps in the water, its soothing scent rising in a fragrant cloud. You sip slowly, the tea's warmth spreading through your chest, a final ritual to ease you toward sleep. The fire pops, a spark dancing upward, and you smile. The hut's cozy embrace, a mirror of the ground's quiet peace. Outside, the night is still, the grounds at rest under the moon's light. You glance at the window, where the lantern's distant glow is just visible, a reminder of your care. The castle sleeps, its towers dark, its heart beating softly with the lives within. You feel a deep, quiet fulfillment, a sense of belonging to this place, to its magic, to its secrets. You are not a hero, not a scholar, but a guardian, a keeper of the ground's quiet wonders, and that is enough. You finish your tea, setting the mug aside, and rise, stretching your arms. The bed in the corner waits, its woolen blankets heavy and inviting. You bank the fire, its glow dimming to a soft, steady ember, and slip under the blankets. The cool sheets, a gentle contrast to the hut's warmth. The night's sounds, owls, breeze, distant waves, drift through the window. A lullaby that carries you toward sleep. The grounds are safe, the day complete, and you close your eyes, the hut's quiet magic wrapping around you, a promise of another dawn to come.